The battle that first must be accomplished is the battle within ourselves and opening this reality of La ilaha illallah, and it's the first zikr of all tariqas. And Basirat al-Lam Jalala, and the lam comes to the head, that don't use your head for shaitan. Don't allow shaitan to enter into the head, to whisper to you, to give you the thoughts and khatir. That's not the purpose of tafakkur and contemplation, to sit and now have him sit and speak into your head. And our whole battle is for the head, to regain the reality of its senses. So it means that we fight at the levels of our ears, that try our best in which to block all inappropriate sound, inappropriate comments, inappropriate words, inappropriate teachings. Everything that comes into these ears of information, of knowledges, of sounds, of whatever it is like a sponge that's affecting the heart. If its knowledges means it's going to come and affect the heart, affect the brain and affect the understanding of haqqaiqs. The servant has to stand guard with their spiritual sword, with their spiritual understanding that these ears are going to open all my realities. I'm a person trying to attempt the reality of samina wa ata'na, and this is Ummat Muhammad in which the holy companions achieve this immense reality of that we hear and we obey. We hear and obey from those whom represent the heavenly command and the heavenly kingdom. And that becomes the battle, that every time I'm asking myself, is what I'm hearing correct? Are these sounds correct? Is this information of any reality or any purpose? If it's not information towards my reality, then is it information that's going to confuse my reality? So don't think with the overwhelming access to information you're just going to listen to everything, because that which you listen to is affecting the heart. So it means them from their senses they understand this is also the training that comes for Ramadan and muttaqeen, those whom their senses are of a certainty and reality of certainty. And then from their head, because they want the head to be like the moon, in which it understands that not to make a light within your head but to shut everything off, so that the head can be a vehicle and a receptor for the reality that lies within the heart of the servant. So the head is not operating on its own and taking its own understandings and its own light and its own realities. The head is to be la, no, and this la is an ocean of reality, which actually is La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. Means this lam and alif has an immense reality. So when the la and the light of la is entering into the head, the battle begins with the ears. Our life is to protect the ears. Then the battle resides within the eyes of the servant, that this dunya is grabbing and has a magnetism for the eyes, and we took a path in which to close the eyes and lower the gaze. Our life is to lower the gaze and close our eyes to meditate and contemplate and to cleanse what the eyes are absorbing. That information that it absorbs again is attacking the heart. So it means that the common people are not aware that what their eyes are seeing is tampering with the cleanliness of their heart. Because the heart is innocent, what does the heart have access to? How does one's heart become satanic, in which it does not reside the will of Allah and is not the house of Allah, it's pure, it's clean. But what we put ourselves through in life, through our senses, are the doors that destroy the heart. What we hear brings an energy, brings information, brings all sorts of negativities into the heart to destroy the heart, darken the heart. What we see, this is how Allah has created our reality. What we see again feeds right into the heart. The information that's received, all of the images that are received are overloading the heart. The heart is the CPU or the data storage of our reality. It is the seat of the throne of the soul, and it absorbs all that we are gathering of information on this journey onto the earth. What we hear is being stored in our hard drive. The heart is like the hard drive. What we see is being stored upon the heart, upon the hard drive. What happens when you're overwhelmed with what you hear and what you see is the hard drive begins to shatter, begins to collapse. The energies that are attacking are overwhelming the hard drive. Then what happens? Your computer crashes. So this is then the immense reality of the heart and how shaitan is battling the servant. So they're already under spiritual battle, they just don't know it. He's overwhelming their ears and bringing every type of negativity. He overwhelms their eyes. Now their algorithms we said are even faster and faster and faster because he has no time left. Before he presents himself and his minions want to present themselves, they have to destroy the heart of those whom believe. They said when their battles begin, look what they do. Before they enter into an area, they begin to loud broadcast pornography, that everybody's phone began to have immense amount of pornography. All available television channels had pornography. Everything was sent out was of a satanic reality. Why was shaitan doing that? Now on this earth when they enter into areas, because he knows that if there is any mu'min amongst them and if he overwhelms them with this type of information, he will have collapsed their eyes and their ears. In which shaitan is going for the heart of the servant because this is a connected nation. This is a connected nation whom their prayers are accepted. This is a nation in which if they are connected to an infinite source of power. That connected individual, their zikrs can move mountains, their salawats can bring down mountains. If you want them to disconnect them, you would send something to their hearing and you would send something to their seeing. So already this is the situation upon earth. Those whom are spiritually active, spiritually aware, then they understand that this reality of guidance that God has given to our reality, and then the breath that I have to struggle to keep my ears clean, to keep my vision clean, and the breath in which I breathe. How to keep the breath in which I breathe to be purified, and that's by connecting, meditating and asking to breathe from oceans of power. As a result of keeping the breath clean, then obviously we don't take ourselves where the breath is going to be openly contaminated. You go to a place and it says that no smoking, and then that section over there is smoking. But did you think the smoke stops because it wants to? Or the no smoking smoke comes and travels right towards your nose? Because there are beings inside these realities and they go after to attack people. So the vigilance over breath is understood, that I have to keep myself where at least the energy is not so negative that it's openly trying to attack me with their smoke, their fumes and the contaminants that they openly put within the air. And if one can guard themselves from that environment, then they meditate on their breath and asking that to connect with their guides and asking for that section of the meditation that I want to work on my breath. send from that light into my heart and into my breath. And they begin to breathe with dhikruhu like a dragon breath, bringing in immense amount of energy and expelling every type of negativity. When the positive energy comes, by its nature pushes out every type of negativity. They breathe through that breath in and exhale all the negativity, and they work on that breath, continuously working on that breath. And as a result they begin to open the power of their breath, they're beginning to opening the power of their hearing, open the power of their seeing, because all of them are now being clean. These senses are being clean and they're moving towards the realities of muttaqeen. Allah gives as the beginning of the Qur'an is a hudan al muttaqeen. This is only a guidance, this kitab and the reality of Holy Qur'an, which includes the reality of Prophet mixed into that reality. That's the reality of Holy Qur'an, that is a guidance for the muttaqeen. But the muttaqeen, they're going to take back their head from shaitan. Don't let shaitan to reside within the head, and their whole life is then to drop their will and surrender to the will of Allah. And that's why when they make their salah they put their head to the ground. Sujood is the most powerful state for them, in which they're asking, Ya Rabbi, that my head to be under your command, that I'm nothing and I'll not raise my head for anything, and to keep themselves in sujood. And this is the pinnacle of our salah and our prayer, is when the servant enters into sujood and all that can be of the glory that Allah put onto the head of a servant who submits, they still bring that reality and they submit and put it low to the ground, that they submit to the majesty of Allah. And this becomes then the honour that Allah that everything I give to you, keep your head to be down. And if the servant can open these realities, work on these realities, then their tariqah is these 9 inches, that everything that comes to them and every thought that they're having is that, is this my will or the will of the Divine? And their whole battle is to conquer their will and to fulfill the will of the Divinely Presence. Their tafakkur and meditation and contemplation, like we said, is not for dunya. They don't use that time to contemplate, to think of dunya issues. Their tafakkur is through their salawats, asking for energy. They breathe in an energy into their heart, into their breath. They ask to connect to the shaykhs that send the light, send the energy, send the lights into my heart and into my soul, that to bring these powers into my breath. And if they read from a sohbat or reading from Holy Qur'an, then reading from a sohbat that expand my understanding of these realities, and that's it. They don't use this heavenly connection for anything related to dunya. Then it becomes a continuous sitting and contemplating, and before you know it shaitan is in their head and now taking over the whole process of tafakkur. And that tafakkur has to be for the heart, to bring the will of Allah within the heart, inshaAllah. We pray that Allah give us an understanding, the nazar of Sayyidina Muhammad to give us an immense support, inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun.